Hey everyone, it's Jasmine. Welcome to my channel, Blakely Skincare. And I basically show you everything that I know how to do when it comes to making skincare. So sit back, we're going to get into this video where you're going to see me make something. Disclaimer here, I'm not formally educated in skincare. I just do what I know in my years of experience. Today we're going to be making the Honey Bun Shimmer Glaze. Basically, it's like a body serum, whatever I called it. I can't really see on there, but anyway, it is a no separate body shimmer recipe, and it's oil and or anhydrous, which means it doesn't have any water ingredients in it. So it's super simple, as you can see here with the simple ingredients I have. If you are on Patreon, you're seeing the version that has the ingredients on it. If you're not seeing the exact measurements for the ingredients, then you need to join Patreon so you can get the full scoop on all the ingredients and how much exactly I use for each specific recipe. Okay, so we're starting off with cerebellina. Cerebellina, it's a derivative of beeswax, and it's known to really help spread and smooth the mica and pigments around. So it's really good for like cosmetic items. And then here I'm using my safflower oil. This is just my go-to non-comedogenic, non-pore clogging oil. It's cheap, it's pretty heat resistant. Not heat resistant, but it can handle hot temperatures without destroying any of their properties. So I always love to use it for that versatility. So here is what it looks like, pretty much melted down. I know you see some of the specks in there, but they're nice and soft. So um, when I mix them with my immersion blender, they're going to get blended. But just for you trying this out the first time, just make sure you melt them all the way down. And then here's a little bit of castor oil mixed with the fragrance oils. You can see how thick it is. The key to these types of formulas where you keep the mica suspended is the thickness in the oil. You still can get a nice kind of runny, drippy type of formula, but you just have to play the balance carefully, because if the micas are too heavy in your formula, then they will sink to the bottom and you will have to add more thickeners, making it really thick. And if you like that kind of thing, that's cool. You know, you can always create a new type of product. But you see here, I have mica. Some of them have glitter. I have a mixture here of gold with bronze mica. And so I just add that to my mix. It can get messy. You can add a little bit of that oil in there on top of the mica and mix it in so it doesn't fly all over the place the way that you see it happening here. And so I'm just getting all of it out in there. And you're going to want to, so that's a decent chunk of mica, right? You're going to want enough to be able to see on the skin. Otherwise, you can't really see it. And if you want to use less, you can. It really won't change the formula. It'll actually make it so that the suspension will be stronger. Because I use so much mica, I didn't really have to make this thin because of the cerebellina, but you'll see how it comes out in the end. But yeah, basically the more mica you use, the more you risk it sinking to the bottom. So you want to have some sort of thickener in there to make it so that it won't sink. Some people use emulsifiers. Some people use all types of different thickening waxes. I've even used Lipid Thicks in my other formula, but I just wanted to come up with something that was even more simple and easy for people to formulate. You can basically find these ingredients anywhere. If you are on the Patreon, I list my whole everywhere where I get everything specifically. So you see I'm mixing with an immersion stick blender. It just because of the nature of the type of stir I have, it does create a little bit of bubbling, as you can see on the top. It's not a huge problem because it will settle, and I do mix it again once it thickens. As you can see in the beginning, it will be pretty liquidy. And it doesn't stay this liquidy. It kind of, you'll see, it thickens up a little bit. And it has kind of like a lava type texture. As you can see here, and I put on the top, there's a little bit of the bubbles. They will go away as it thickens. You can kind of just let it sit. I always say, let your product settle for at least 24 hours before bottling anything. And that's just so you can observe and see, make sure that when you're using whatever mixing tools you use, there's no air bubbles left. So before you put it in your bottle, you're going to let it settle. It's going to get thick just like you saw at the top there. As you can see, it's a little bit thicker, but not too thick. And then you're going to mix it again with your immersion stick blender. It still can have a little bit of bubbling, but you see it's not nearly as bad. And yeah, so it's just mixing smoothly there. As you can see, it's thicker, but it's not like super duper thick, and it doesn't form a balm, but it's also, it kind of is like runny, just like a glaze. But guys, this formula is awesome because it does not separate. I've had mine sitting for weeks already, even months for a couple of my older formulas using Cerebellina, and it does not settle to the bottom. So this is a winner because a lot of formulas are simple and they just have mica with oil, so they will settle. This one doesn't. Like I said, you can play with, if this one has too much pigment for you, you can always play around with the numbers and with how much mica you put in. I would say be careful with putting in more because of the fact that it could very well end up sinking if you're going to overwhelm the Cerebellina. The Cerebellina thickens it up nice enough so that it can suspend. But if it's too heavy, it may end up sinking in the long run. So I advise using the numbers that I set up, but you're free to do whatever you want. But it gives the skin a nice shimmery glow, as you guys have seen in my demo videos. I absolutely love it. You can make the shimmer any type of color that you want and name it whatever you want, fragrance, whatever you want. I like this one being like a honey bun and using the bear bottle. You guys can theme it up any way that you want. And even if you want to use my name and formula, you're free to. I always say whenever you have my formulas and I share them, they're for everybody and other people to use. So you guys are free to enjoy them as well. And I'm stirring it a lot. You really don't have to, okay? And this is our final texture. After I let it set some more, you can see it still has that, watch this, see, like that kind of runny texture, but it's like lava-y. And it's nice. It's anhydrous, so you don't need to use any preservatives unless you really want to, but if you aren't really that big into them yet, this is a simple formula that you should be able to master like a pro, and it's going to leave your body looking shimmery and gold and glistening all summer long. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know how you like it in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.